Oh, all right. So I am live right now. What is up, everybody? I'm going to hang out just for a few seconds, get some people to gather themselves and take a look at what I'm about to say tonight. Um, since I haven't been on for a little while, so let me just get myself together here. Excuse me if I get too close to the camera. So, you know what? Let me just start this off, man. Yo, listen, hi. My name is Barry Gaines of Gaines Entertainment and the owner and founder of a new film festival here in Florida near Tampa and St. Pete called GainesCon, the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror film festival. And I'm having that this year again. I had my inaugural last year in November, and I want to make the new one this year even bigger than it was before. It was a great time. I had some great work from around the world. I had some great people around that came by and supported the festival last year. And I just want to send my love to all you guys. Thank you for making that moment memorable. And now I want to continue this year with even a bigger event. So the event this year is going to be on December 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's what it is right now. It may change, but right now I'm pretty much locked into those days. And I want to give myself plenty of time because I'm going to add several acts to my event this year. It's going to be great. And not only are you going to see short films from all around the world that are exciting, short films from oh man, from like Singapore and Germany and Australia, of course, right here in the States. And they're all going to be within the realm of action and sci-fi and fantasy of all kinds. I mean, you're even going to see documentaries within the genre itself. So it's going to be absolutely fabulous this year. So right now, I just opened submissions. So anyone out there who's interested, who has a short film that's 40 minutes or less, hey, I'd love to see what you have done. And just go to Film Freeway to enter. So I can't wait to see your work and even screenwriters as well. So there's an opening there for screenwriters, not just movies, also screenwriting as well. So, hey, it's going to be so much fun. And I want to give an update. I mean, that's the whole point of me coming on right now. Now, before I get into that, as you know, if anyone has followed me over a couple of years, while I was filming my sci-fi indie film, A World of Worlds, that you can see on Amazon and you can see on Google Play. You can see part one and two. Part one is on Tubi TV. That's the easiest way to get to it. It's on Amazon too, but it's easier to see it on Tubi TV. And part two that just released in January, just a couple months ago, you can see that on Amazon and on Google Play, and it should be on Apple soon. So it's kind of tough to get on Apple. Just letting you guys know. So if you have a movie out there, you never had a chance to kind of like try to get it on Apple, like on iTunes. Yeah, if you guys out there know what I mean, yeah, they're kind of ball busters. So I'm hoping that I can finally get my movie on there. I had to do a few adjustments to my movie, but right now it's looking good. So let's just cross our fingers. But anyway, if you do see it on iTunes and you watch it, thank you very much for the support. It's mean a lot to me and especially my entire crew who's been with me for several years, is making these movies happen, bringing my characters to life, and just seeing how they've grown as actors, as people, and how they have grown to be very close friends of mine personally. So do go out there, check it out, support the film A World of Worlds. Part one and part two, you can actually see the links and everything and go to my website at GainesEntertainment.com. Now, let's get into GainesCon and what I want to tell you about that. Right now, I'm still building it. I'm getting people together that I want involved because at the beginning stages right now, but it's moving along pretty well, but it's just going to get stronger. So this year, I'm going to add acts. As I mentioned in the beginning of this stream, I'm going to add not only movies, exciting movies from all around the world that you'll be able to see, but I'm also going to bring in music acts, music bands. I want to have a comedian there, even other types of musicians to play. So I want to make this more than just a film festival, which it is a film festival, but an exciting film festival where you can actually watch movies and you can also mingle. You can also, hear music. You can also laugh. So this is what I'm building right here in St. Pete and Tampa. Um, Now you may say, well, where is this going to take place? Well, I'm working on it right now. I have a place. Working through the agreements and everything else. So I would get with you that really soon. Now on the website right now, I do have me having it at Studio Movie Grill where I had it last year. Now that's initially where I wanted to go. It may still be there, so I'm leaving it there, but it may be another place really soon. So just keep an eye out for my announcements, or just go to our website and see if anything's changed. Because right now it's still at Studio Movie Grill, but it may change. It's probably going to change from that place. So just keep an eye out for that, because I want a venue where I can actually start to have a band and comedians, just people on stage, have a stage, along with showing the movies. It's also going to include vendors, local vendors right here in St. Pete and Tampa, to sell their work, to show off, to showcase plenty of people's talents, inventions, their work, and just to show how creative where we are in St. Pete and Tampa. Now, listen, a lot of people already know that, and I just want to contribute to that. You know what I mean? I just want to contribute to that. And just also with my genre film festival, I just want to make a space for the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror fan, horror creator, the sci-fi creator, the action creator. Somebody, there's plenty of filmmakers out there that just right here locally that just want to make something just exciting and fun, and maybe push the envelope a little bit. And a lot of times it's kind of hard for them to enter certain film festivals because that's not what they're looking for, and that's fine. That's what they're looking for, I want to provide that space for them locally. So now they have a space that they can put their crazy sci-fi or crazy action movie or just some wild horror film, right here locally for everyone to see on the big screen. That's what I'm building right now. And this is going to be the second one. And I just want to make this bigger, just give it muscle. And that's what I'm going to do. So look out for it. And you know what? Just go back to giving space here locally for that, not just locally, but just globally too. I mean, listen, there are plenty of film festivals around the world. We know this, right? There's plenty of places for you to showcase your work. If you're not showcasing it through a distributor or a deal that you made or what have you, you're showing it through, social media, all kinds of platforms, YouTube, you name it, they're out there, right? But mine, I want to contribute a little differently, where now all of those exciting short films, not just full lengths, because I understand full lengths, guys, if you don't know this already, full lengths for distributors is really what they gravitate to, is full lengths. It's very hard to kind of get your short film distribution muscle, or just kind of get it out there on the platform where everyone can see it, showcase it to a larger audience. And it's very tough. And I'm working on getting some distributors to help you with that for your type of film. Okay, because I am an action, sci-fi, fantasy filmmaker myself. I have my movie, like as I mentioned earlier, A World of Worlds. And it's not the easiest sometimes to kind of get it to distributors, or have distributors even want to take it on if it doesn't have this big old budget, and I've been very fortunate, to find a distributor called myproductions.uk in Europe, with a gentleman named Mutaz. Let's call him Taz, and he helped me out. So look up that website in the meantime, My Productions UK. Just a little plug there, all right, Taz? But all in all, like I said, GainesCon is about making space for something really fun and exciting when it comes to, film festivals. You know what I mean? Example. To be honest, right? You go to a lot of film festivals and they're great. They really are. It's a great place to mingle and, meet new people and everything else. That's what they're for. Maybe have a chance to get your movie, bought by a distributor. That's the whole point of it. But then sometimes there are people who just want to go to a film festival to enjoy the movies themselves, just to kind of sit there and watch something exciting, something they're into. And a lot of times there are some movies, not everyone's going to watch certain films unless, you have some kind of personal investment into it. You got some skin in the game, somewhere along the line, or you're supporting somebody somewhere, some reason you're watching it, and there are some great work out there. On this one though, mine, what I love about mine and why I created this, because there are short films, right? Just to be honest, there's short films. You don't have to kind of, dedicate too much time into one story. And you sit there and just watch an array of exciting shorts that are just people making incredible work, just making interesting stories that are just constantly moving adventures, just bringing you to new worlds, showing you new places, creating new languages, just to kind of bring a new storyline to you. And these short films that I'm going to bring to you guys have that. And that's what's so exciting. That's what makes me so pumped all the time, because every time I see a new submission come in, I'm just excited. And I watch all the submissions. So let you know out there, I'm the one that watches all these submissions. All right. Now I'll get to the point where I'm able to watch every single one from beginning to end. I don't care how bad or how good it is. To be honest, I don't care. I want to watch it and give the filmmaker the courtesy and the respect of having their work looked at in total, to get a true, to get a true opinion and a true feeling of what they're trying to do, not just skipping through it and looking for the hot points. Okay. So I'm that guy. Okay. Because I'm a filmmaker. So I understand. I've been in this game for a while. Okay. I used to work in music business with Virgin and Warner Brothers years ago. So anyway, that's another story. But, I understand what it means to to build something for people to watch and give a chance. So that is why when you give me something, I sit there, watch the whole thing, and give it a chance. So understand, every movie you see when you come to my GainesCon, I've watched all of them. I picked everyone out. And these movies only keep you in your seats. That's what I want. I pick the ones that are just great to look at and will keep you in your seats. And if you've been to a lot of film festivals, a lot of times, like I said before, to be very honest, this is real talk, all right? A lot of times you're not sitting there for hours, and no one's really going to sit there for hours, tell you the truth. But even like 2 hours, and watch, a movie, unless, you're there to see that movie and you're really interested. But think about, within 2 hours, I can give you about 20 something exciting short films, depending how long they are, maybe less than that, maybe about 15. But I can give you a nice amount of just incredible stuff. And that's why I cannot wait to open up this film festival again, just to have the event another time, because it's so much fun. And not just watching the movies, but knowing that people around the world are watching their film, online in a film festival. Yes, it's going to be in person and live at the same time. Yes, that is why this is an international film festival, an international action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror film festival. That's what it is. So think of this. Being that I'm going to have bands there, I'm going to have live entertainment on stage. That's the plan. That's the plan. To have live entertainment on stage. they're not just only being seen by the in-person crowd, they're going to be seen all around the world. And I mean all around the world, because a lot of the artists that I was submitting their work are from around the world. So they're going to be seen by some audience somewhere in Japan, in Germany, Australia, you name it. We're probably going to have a film from that place. I mean, last year we had films from Singapore and Australia. I mean, we had it everywhere. So I know it's going to be the same right now this year. So if you are this, let me just take a left turn just for a moment. Kind of a left turn. I'm just going to turn a little bit, whoop, and go into you and talk to you about if you're an artist. And being I'm going to have a band, I'm going to have comedians, I'm looking for them now. I'm actually reaching out to people right now. I'm starting to. I didn't do it before. I was just doing a bunch of things, but right now I'm really starting to reach out and just tap people on the shoulder that I like and see if they can be available those days, or even just speak to them and see if they want to be involved. And if you're that person that in a band, I'm particularly looking for certain types of music in bands. I really are, because I want something lively. So I'm looking for R&B and funk bands. Okay, I mean some really good R&B and funk. Okay, also I'm looking for a dance band, something that's really going to get people moving. Get some house or something like that, or get some BPM or something like that. Just something that's going to really make the place move in between watching the movies. And then also a comedian, a comedians, someone there to just to lighten it up. Because I want to have some movies, man, that's just going to be really like on the edge. These things are going to be like, like intense movies, short films of just kind of like, man, what's happening? Because it's so exciting. Sometimes you just need to kind of take a break for a moment and just have a laugh. You know what I mean? And we're going to have that, and that is what I'm going to have. So just keep an eye out for that. And if you are that funny and you're interested in being part of this, hey, you know what? DM me. Just reach out to me, and we'll go on from there. But this is how it works, because I'm really big on bringing the community up, really big on bringing everyone that's around here and everywhere a chance to showcase their work, just to give people a chance to have their work showcased somewhere, when it comes down to this genre. And what's great too, that I'm going to have, and I'm looking for it right now, and I'm going to have this either way, hell or high water, but I'm going to have vendors that, of course, is going to be part of the genre. I mean, we're going to have local vendors selling, their work and such and so forth, but also I'm going to have, people who like for self-defense classes, stuntmen, stunt women, visual effects artists, these things that you need or are utilized heavily in action, sci-fi, fantasy movies, and other things here in locally that I can bring on board. And if possible, I'm thinking about this too. Maybe I could do it this year. Have a vendor not even be here sometime. Maybe a vendor that's somewhere else, and maybe lives here and now they're somewhere else or whatever, and they want to be part of it. They want to show their work. We do it virtually. We just break in there and show them virtually too. So it's just going to be so much fun. Listen, even when you're like, this is going to be so cool. Being that it's going to be virtual as well, I'm going to have the camera move around. Like in the break, I'm just going to grab the camera and we're just going to just, coast around and visit other vendors live that everyone around the world can see and talk to. We're going to walk down the halls. We're going to talk to the people who are there. We are just going to make this something special, something that everybody can feel that they're a part of, and not just being a spectator, but just being a part of the festival itself. Because without your support, without your work, this cannot happen. And that is why I'm reaching out to all you guys to let you know what I like to do, who I'm looking for, and it begins right now, man. It begins right now. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to make more videos really soon to show you where I'm going to be, what we're going to do. I'm going to start having commercials probably in another month or two or whatever, putting that together so you guys can see what we have so far coming to you. you know? And like I said before, if you're talented, you're a curator in this field, even if you're a painter, a screenwriter, of course, you a cosplays performer. That's big. That's big. I'm looking for those too. So cosplay performers, come on in. Listen, this is new, man. We can be like the beginning of like, listen, all great things started with just one step, just an idea and just having the perseverance to push through and keep pushing and make it happen. And GainesCon is right now doing that. And we want you to be part of that. Think about it. Everything that you admire, every big business, anything started with just an idea and just the heart to go out there and make it happen however you can. This is it. And this is what I'm doing right now. So just to say, I love you all who are going to eventually support and be there and just be a part of this. Thank you very much already, and I hope to be speaking to a lot of you really soon about what you like to do, how you want to participate. And like I said, if you already have a movie or a short film that's exciting and you want to share it, please go to Film Freeway and submit your movie to GainesCon, and you'll find it in there. It's pretty easy. Or just go to GainesCon.com and you'll see the link for it. Now, what I also like to speak to tonight is about indie filmmaking. I'm just going to be short on this. I always like speaking about indie filmmaking because I like to speak about indie filmmaking. I like to bring up subjects that you don't normally would hear that are very vital, in any production. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's always there, but no one really talks about like the little things that weigh a lot. And today, quickly, I want to talk about being a filmmaker, being a creator in general. But right now, I'm going to talk about just being a filmmaker. Now, I'm a writer and I am a director and I am pretty much a cameraman, a cinematographer. I do a lot. I have a lot of hats. Every hat is not as sharp as others because you can just do so much, right? But I got some hats that are very sharp. So, you do as much as you can. And at times you will get to a point where you say, you know what, it's getting bigger, or I just need help. So I need to get somebody who's an expert who does this all the time, who's just far better than me. I just need their help. And we all do. That's what film production is about. It's a team, right? You can't do it by yourself. You need a team. You need people on your side. And while about going about getting the people that you need to, reach out and find someone you want, right? So I think, and you go out there and you probably say, hey, let me see when someone's resume, let me see what they do. And that's normal. That's what you do. But there's something that I've seen happen a lot to a lot of productions and fellow directors that I know. And they, is that they fall in love with the resume and what the person does and the person themselves. And that's really, really important because you have to understand the real talk now, okay? Real talk. There are a lot of people doing what we do. All right. There are a lot of people out there in the world doing what we do. Not everybody is good at it. Not everybody is great at it, but the number is high. And what you, as the boss or someone who is just in charge of hiring or trying to find someone for your production to help you out, whatever sector that you're reaching for, that you're working with, I look at it by saying, let me go back. I first will look at, I'll look at the resume and see what they've done first. But the main thing is character. That's the main thing. To me, is character. I want to be able to speak to you, not just about the movie, just life. Just talk. Just shoot the shit. If we can shoot the shit about stuff and you can shoot this shit with everyone else and we all just kind of kumbaya in and shit, that's the person you want. Because you're going to find a lot of people with a lot of skill sets that are very, very good at what they do, but doesn't mean that you can actually work with them. Now, of course, I'm a person, I could pretty much work almost with anybody. Almost. I'm human. Some people just can't. But you don't need to put yourself in a situation with someone where, although their resume and what they've done is really sparkly, if you can't work with that person, it's going to be hell, and it's not going to work at all, and you're not going to get all those sparkly, beautiful things that that person has done, because you're going to be so conflicted in so many ways during the life of that production. So what you want to do is make sure to say, hey, listen, I want to find someone who's really good at what they do because I need this filled. But the first thing I want to do is I want to look at what I like, resumes I like, or people I like, or referrals that I had that I respect. Call those people in or whatever, or meet them and see who I can just talk to. If you get someone like that, and I've been very fortunate for my crew, all my guys are like that with me, all of them. And I made sure that it makes the production, the life of the entire production so pleasant, and making people want more, making people want to work with you again. You know what I mean? They want to do more stuff, and that's what you want. And it'll make everything so much easier and so much more fun. And you know what? That would translate to your movie. When people watch your film, you're going to see how cohesive everything feels and sounds. Why? Because in the background, everybody was cohesive. Everybody was on the same page. Everybody was getting along, and everybody was truthful, and everybody was going the same direction. And then, as long as you go in the same direction, that road becomes very strong. And that's what you need. Every time someone sees like an image of what you've done, that one image should be strong throughout, and people are going to feel it. Now, listen, it may sound corny, but it's true. It's so true. So don't concern yourself so much, and don't fall in love with the resumes. Don't fall in love with what they've done. Fall in love with the person themselves. Character outweighs everything. Understand, a lot of things can be taught, not everything. I can't be 6'5" no matter how much I try. You got to be born that way. I get it. There's some things you just can't learn. But there's quite a few things you can just kind of learn and help someone out to strengthen it or what have you. They kind of get to where you want to go. And I think, like almost in anything, understand, everybody who's in the business don't just won't work together. I mean, everyone, because you're in the business doesn't mean that you're all getting along. That's just not true, right? I don't care what business it is, it's not true. And that goes in particularly with, show business. It's all about what, guys? What is show business really about? Feelings. And that can get very complicated. You know what I mean? It's about feelings. And when you start putting that into play, unlike other businesses, then it gets a little dicey, and you got to be very careful about who you work with professionally. And so, you got to be, walks off. So that's what one thing I really want to talk about indie filmmaking, or just filmmaking in general. Little things like that, because those little things weigh a whole lot, and they make a huge, huge, huge difference in your production. One other thing before I go is that although all of you out there that do have work, that are just out there, pushing it, actors, you guys are just kind of going to production, putting you all into everything. Just one thing I want to tell all of you, and this is just a me thing, all right? This is just on me, all right? This is how I feel, is that just let it fly, man. And don't be afraid of criticism, and don't be afraid of people saying something bad about you. Like, just, you can't, not in this business. Because there's a couple ways you can look at that. Number one, let me just kind of break this into two pieces. One, let me go back to what I just said about letting it fly. As actors out there, my advice to you, this is what I feel, right? This is what I look at even for my actors. And some of you already probably know this, but this is a me thing. In particular, I like to see actors let it fly. Like, they're not afraid to get something wrong. They're not afraid to show you what they have. And then from there, we just start chipping off the rough edges, or just trying to shape it the way we need to. Because I don't want people coming in trying to shape shit on the way in, because then it becomes a little stiff, and it doesn't look right, and it looks forced, and and it just kind of kills the situation when I see an actor come in and they auditioning, and and they just let it fly, however it is, and they don't care. You know, those are the ones I know that person's probably going to work out just fine because they're not afraid. They're not here to say, hey, listen, this is the end all, the be all. I have to do this. Though that's the way you're supposed to think. I have to let it fly because if I don't let it fly, what happens when if I get the role, right? You get the role and then you let it fly on the role, and how, as a director and a producer, you look at it like, whoa, where this come from? We didn't see this before. All those times that we auditioned you, you was doing this, doing this, doing this, and now you get the job, and now there's real bullets flying, and you bring in something else. Like, okay, nice, but this is not. So you don't want to go in one way and start, making a left turn when you get in there. You know what I mean? So, and also people admire truth. It doesn't matter what it is, man. If it's true, man, it looks good. I mean, true is just feels better. And like I said, actors out there, no matter what you do, man, you let it roll because what you want is this. It's easier to take away than to build. Always understand that. It's easier to take away than build. If you look at the concept of just making a movie, right? When we film a movie, we always over film stuff, right? We just film a whole bunch of shit. We just stuff that a lot of times we're not going to put in the movie. That's why you have the cutting room floor, the whole deal, the final cut, the whole shit, the whole thing. Why? Because it's easier to take away than build it. Because if you don't have it, then you have to create it. And it's harder to do that a lot of times. So that's why you got to take the same concept with your acting, with your approach on every character in every situation you go into. You let it fly. You know what I mean? Because that's going to get you more work. That's going to get you it's going to get you on a better road to people who really admire what you're doing more. You know what I mean? So just do that, and it's great. Because one thing I personally don't like are safe actors. I don't like people who are safe, because then it's like kind of constrictions going on. You want something where you say, you know what? I look at situations like a car, guys. Before I move on to the next subject, real quick, I just want to say this. I look at it like a car, right? You get a car. The car could go 150 miles an hour. You're not going to go 150 miles an hour, but you want that car because it does. You don't want to go to a dealership or get a car and say, hey, listen, how fast do you normally go to? Well, sometimes I hit the 90, maybe 95. All right, we're going to make a car that's only 95 miles an hour, and that's it. That's normally what you do. You don't go 150. No, you want that car that goes 150, although you never get there. But you want to know it's there just in case you need to get close to that to get to a place they need to get to, at a certain time. That's how you got to look at everything you do. And actors the same way. Give them 150 miles an hour. They can always scale it back, but they know they need to go 130. You got it. You're prepared for it. You're already ready to go. So think of it that way. That's how I think of it. And like I said, and now going to the criticism part. Hey, listen, I'm one that can tell. That can tell you what criticism is. I've been through a lot of that. Even now in my own movie, you throw it out there to the world and you're going to get trolls and everything else and whatever. But understand one thing. There's something that is an old saying. And a lot of you guys out there probably know what I'm going to say. If they stop talking about you, worry. It doesn't matter if it's bad or good. Of course, you want good, even if it's bad. But if it's bad, that means they took time to actually look at your shit. They took time to watch you do it, whatever you do, and then sit there, right? And just soak you in their brain. You know what I mean? And then if they go online to kind of write something about you, they actually took the time to sit down and type a message about you. You were on their brain. Yo, doesn't matter if it's bad. You were on their brain, bro. You got to them. You got what you wanted. You got the exposure. You got people to watch your work. You're going to find good, reviews and people who like you, which is great. And that's all you can ask is people to be truthful and for people to give your work time. Just look at my stuff and give me an honest answer. I mean, an honest opinion about what you think. But at least give me the courtesy of having my movie watched throughout, to the beginning to the end, or whatever I've done, my work. Then give me a true review, good or bad. So that's why when you look at bad reviews or you look at people just giving you shit, understand that means you own the brain, bro. You own their brain, baby. And that's what you wanted. That means you're doing your job. You're doing your job. You know what I mean? It's working. So everyone, have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this. I'm going to be in touch with you guys soon. I'm going to start making more videos. I haven't for a couple months now. I've just been a little burnt out from my other project. I just finished with my movie, A World of Worlds, Rise of the King, that you can see on Amazon, by the way. And it's going to be coming to Apple, hopefully, really soon. And so I was just a little burnt out. So I just had no strength to come online. So I'm talking about things, but I've been working behind the scenes. So now I'm going to start coming on again because things are kind of revving up the way they need to now for GainesCon that's coming out. There's going to be, coming out on December 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's when the event's going to happen. And it's going to be in person and live. We're going to sell tickets locally here. We're going to have music. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have comedians. I'm really going to kind of build this up to where I really want to. And just, start something new, start to give a space to people who are looking for this space for the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genre. So all of you out there who support us, all of you out there who give us a chance to come into your living rooms and show our work, thank you so much. And I'm going to speak to you guys again really soon, as I mentioned before. And if you have any questions, please just DM me on Facebook or Instagram, however, and I'll definitely get in touch with you and let's chat. So love you all, and you all have a great day. All right. Peace.